You're listening to Real Folk with me, Jo Burke. Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Real Folk with Jo Burke. And I am stupidly excited to have with me today award-winning comedian Sooz Kempner. You might know her as Doom from the Doctor Who spin-off Doomsday. She has also many followers on the Twitter and does the most amazing impressions. Particular ones I love are those of, unfortunately, they're not politicians. Well, they are still politicians, but they're not in the public eye as much now. Nadine Dorries and the old Truss woman, let's not mention her. And my favourite, and I'm going to ask you actually why you haven't reprised her now, is Liza Minnelli doing anything that Trump spouts. So welcome to Sooz Kempner. Yeah.
Hi, thank you.
So honestly,
Cheers.
no, I seriously, I miss Liza Minnelli. Let's just cover this first.
Yeah, I did. That was in the last election. So we're going back to the summer of 2020. Well, Liza Minnelli and Donald Trump are the exact same age and come from the exact same part of New York.
Oh, do they? See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so their speech patterns aren't vastly different, but obviously their outlooks are polar opposite. So yeah, I did a bunch of videos. Some people know me from a bunch of videos I did where I just did Trump speeches verbatim as Liza Minnelli, and I churn them out really quickly. So people will be like, oh yeah, that's that speech from this morning, but done as Liza Minnelli. And the appetite for it is, from my end and from most people's end, it's not quite the same this time around. It's all a bit too depressing.
Yes, I was trying to think when I last saw, I think I saw you at the Comedy Store a couple of years ago, Phil Nichols. And you I think it was a Christmas one. I think Phil and I went
That's
for Christmas.
right.
And you did your Christina. Nice.
Yeah, it's Phil does a gig once, well, it's every couple of months now, I think, at the Comedy Store called Cray Cray Club. It's a great gig, but he has a live band there.
Yes.
So comedians can interact with the live band, which is really fun.
Yeah,
so I did my singing impressions.
Yeah, and it must be perfect for you because normally you have to rock up and if you're doing your musical. Sooz is also, if you don't already know, a musical comedian and not even just a musical comedian, just an amazing musician and singer.
Thanks.
It really is. I do love her so.
Cheers, Jo. Cheers.
And the weird thing is, we started at roughly the same time. I think
Must have done.
back in 2009, I started the old comedy.
Yeah, same.
And it was at the Cavendish Arms where I used to take my mum. Because you had to bring a person sometimes.
Yes, I'd often be there with my mum. Comedy Virgins, that's the gig, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was my
exactly.
very first gig, was Comedy Virgins. It's a pub in Stockwell that's got a dedicated comedy space out the back. And when you're like, did you find this? When you're brand new, you go, oh my God, look at it. It's got stage, a red curtain, black and white tile floor, cabaret seating.
Yep.
This is real comedy club. It's like, it's just decor.
It is. It was David and, oh my God, I've forgotten the lovely lady.
His wife.
Oh, Scheiße. No, I can't remember.
Yeah,
That's
I can't
awful.
remember. So long since
I'm
I've been
so
there,
sorry.
actually.
Yeah, I haven't been there for donkey's years, but I know they worked so hard and they brought up so many amazing comedians.
Yeah,
You
everyone
included.
did Comedy Virgins. Yeah.
Yes, and still do. I think it's still going. I think it's still good.
Good.
But
I think it went up to twice a week, didn't it? It used to be once a week.
it did, and you used to have to put your name down. So anyone thinking of starting comedy, literally that's all Sooz and I did. I just decided that I was going to do it at some point. Mine, because I was an actor and couldn't be bothered to wait for the phone to ring, decided to just write my own
Oh, that was me too.
stuff. Yeah. And it's surprisingly simple, isn't it, actually, once you make the decision?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, they were, it's got a really nice atmosphere. Because some open mics, I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you other than there's Comedy Virgins. I don't know what other like nights you can do if you just want to do your first, doing your first 6 months, just taking out your 5 and tightening that up. I wouldn't know other places to look at, but I would always recommend Comedy Virgins.
Yeah.
It is, because it does make a difference that it looks like a real comedy club, because it is one.
Yes. It is.
And it's
really
not
is.
a gong show.
No,
it's great.
Super friendly. Have you done the Comedy Store gong?
Never did.
No, I never.
No, it never appealed.
No. It's quite terrifying.
Yeah, and you'd get people who'd be like, "Oh fuck yeah, I beat the gong," and it's like, "Oh," and then what?
Yeah.
What's next?
Yeah, it's weird. And I think also because you do characters as well, and it's like it's not always what people are expecting characters. And I think you could just walk on and get gonged.
That's it. Well, I don't do characters in my, like when I'm just doing clubs, and I don't do character. I'm always myself on stage, but I can't imagine being like 2009 in my first year, going on stage going, "Hi everybody, I'm Sooz," and then just seeing all these cards go up in the air and they're like, "Get the fuck off!" Like, oh shit.
Yes, soul destroying right from the get-go.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
Yes,
anyway, good luck
agreed.
to everyone doing.
Yes,
What's it called? It's called.
It's called.
It's not King Gong, is it? That was something else.
No,
Doesn't matter,
I don't
does it?
know.
They can look
we
it up.
don't
If you
know.
want to know
Yeah.
what it is, look it up.
If you're that interested.
I don't want to do it at the end.
But let's just swing back before we carry on just talking about comedy and music and stuff. What's sort of your background? Because I don't know, like I didn't know you were an act same as me, waiting for the agent to call and decided to hit the comedy decks on your own.
Yeah.
So, and also I think, like me, I have seen you mention on Twitter that people often mistakenly think that you are a posh bird that's that's gone to public school and had everything gifted, and
it's
nothing more annoying.
It's quite frustrating being told what a posh very like I am privileged because I'm a cis white woman living in the UK, so I already kind of won the genetic lottery that way. So I've got, automatic privilege there. But the idea that I come from some posh background, I've had people like say things like, "Oh, daddy paid for all your singing lessons." I'm like, you've thought about this too much and you don't know anything about me, but you've like invented a history for me. I haven't spoken to my dad since 2010. I wish I was this posh rich girl that people describe, because it would have made things easier. And I probably wouldn't still live in my mum's house. She can't cover rent for me. I've never been in you get a lot of comedians who aren't necessarily from like the richest background on earth, but they go, "Yeah, it's annoying. My parents have to help me out with rent." And I don't begrudge them that. Like, no one can choose their background, but I've never been in the position where I could have had that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not in a position where I was like, yeah, I can move to London, and unfortunately it's really embarrassing, but sometimes my mum has to cover my rent, which she can't. She doesn't have enough money. So yeah, I think it's weird. I know why it happens. It's because I'm always posting about horses and dressage.
Yes, and it's weird, isn't it?
I've got 3 horses behind me.
I was just looking at that. So Susan's in her room and she's got a painting of 3 gorgeous horses.
I'm on my couch. It's the nicest bit of the house because there's this picture of 3 horses.
Yeah.
But that painting is a print from Wilko's. Is it? It's really, yeah. My mum saw it in Wilko's in 1998, and she was like, "Oh, it's so nice." It's a picture of 3
You don't get that on Antiques Roadshow, do you? Someone rocking out one of those. Like, yes, I believe this is a print from 1983 Wilko.
It was like, because when I was first in lockdown, I did all my Zoom gigs here. I just set up a ring light. I don't even bother with the ring light anymore. I just set up a ring light and just sit here because it's the nicest bit of the house. And then I set up a green screen in my room, and I can do all that now. But and people are like, it's the painting's called We Three Kings. It's Arkle, Red Rum, and Desert Orchid, legendary racehorses.
Red Rum.
Yeah, rummy. Yeah. And people because I did Twitch at the beginning of, all the way through lockdown, people in the chat would be like, "Oh, the 3 kings are here." They became like part of it.
Oh,
the bee
nice.
Cushions. I got my cushions with bumblebees on. But this is just my mum's house where I live because things are going so well.
I had a massive interest in horses, the same as you.
Right.
So I used to sit with a folder and write all the dandy brushes and knew all of the things, or used to clean the stables to get rides and things.
Yeah, this was I never had to do that because that was my mum's background. She just wanted to work with horses so much. I just did a show about this, mainly because I was so fed up with being told what a posh rich girl I was. I was like, I fucking wish, mate. That sounds amazing. But my mum, when she left school at 16, just went and worked for a riding stables. She lived in a caravan, and she is really amazing with horses. It's like her big skill.
Yeah.
And there was nothing else she would have done. And she got all, went up the ranks riding other people's horses.
That's
She ended
amazing.
up being like a really decent level dressage rider on other people's horses. And then people always go to me, oh my God, has she ridden at the Olympics? I go, no. Of course she hasn't ridden at the Olympics. And they go, oh, like there's 3 people on the Olympic dressage team and it's every 4 years. Like, do you think there's only like 5 dressage riders in the UK and they just pick 3 of them? Like, guys, come on.
Also,
it's really hard to get on the Olympic team.
I think you'd have mentioned it as if she had.
I think I
you know
would.
what I mean?
Yeah.
If your mum happened to be an Olympian.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
shush, keep it under your hat.
Yeah, I'll keep that quiet. But it is interesting because all the British Olympic team, none of them went to private school.
Oh, really?
And it's one of my favourite facts. Yeah, I think I like, my theory is you have to, I think this helps in comedy as well. You have to like scrap at the bottom, like fighting for decent rides and proving how good you are to get to the level where you can like ride any horse. And my mum's really like good problem solver with horses that have got tricky brains, which all the best dressage horses do. They're all fucking cooked. They're all arrogant.
Right.
So,
Do they think they're too good for it, really? Is that the problem?
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah.
And
they're so super smart. So like, how can I take the piss? And and like, my best example is one of the British Olympic team sold her bronze medal winning horse that she'd bought very young for not very much, and then built it up to take it all the way to the Olympics. And she sold it for 5 million.
Wow.
To one of her pupils who, well, I haven't seen the horse for like a year now, but she was going out and getting 5 to 10% below what this horse was getting with its Olympic rider.
Ah.
I'm not naming no names.
No, don't name no names. Shush, shush.
The hot gossip.
I'll bung you later.
Like, as with absolutely anything in any sport, in comedy,
Industry.
anything, if you've got a ton of money at your disposal, it does give you a leg up, but it won't get you all the way.
No.
There's still like, you've still got to have some special something, but obviously it holds us back, not being able to afford. Like, but there's people who, oh yeah, no, I'm doing Edinburgh again this year, and I can just get my parents to pay for it. And don't begrudge people that. How nice.
No, I know.
The option isn't always available.
Wonderful. I mean, it's crazy. The prices are, I mean, I know everyone says every year about it.
It's got ridiculous.
Seriously.
Yeah. It's got insane. I mean, I'm back on the Free Fringe this year, which I wanted to be. This isn't like, I'm actually really glad I'm not in one of the main venues. Actually, no, I wanted to go back on the Free Fringe because I just wanted to have control over over everything I was doing. I'm self-producing again.
Yeah.
And
So I was going to ask you
nice.
about this because was last year your first year being produced?
No, 23 was. I did 2 years produced on the Underbelly.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people think that's the pinnacle and how wonderful that'll be and the pressure's off you and you can just rock up and do your thing, which is marvelous. But then obviously the payoff is you, by the nature of that, have less creative control. And I think
the show itself, I was able to do exactly what I wanted, so that's great. The producer didn't get in the way with that, but it was just, you got to have PR. You've got to have PR. I had to like fight them on not having PR because PR's £2,000 or £3,000 to get someone to do what? Go like ask reviewers to come along who might come along and go, I thought it was fine, 3 stars. I'm like, oh, that was worth paying £3,000 for. Like, I didn't need to pay someone £3,000 to maybe get The Guardian in and even less likely get a 4-star review. Because that's all you're doing. And when he said, "Oh, we might not be able to get reviewers in," I'm like, "What? Save thousands of pounds and get no reviews? This sounds like a dream." I don't like reviews. I know. Even when they're good, I always think like, "Well, who asked you?"
Yeah. But also, you've had reviewers in to all the shows that you've done previously, as do a lot of people.
Yeah,
for free without spending the £3,000.
Yeah. If they show up and they review me, it's their own fault.
Yes, nobody else. asked you.
That's it. Yeah. Have you ever done Edinburgh produced?
No, I haven't. No, I mean, and in my head, I always thought that would be, because I've always done what you've done. I've always marched up with multimedia. Like I basically, every time I do anything Edinburgh or any show, actually, I always think that I'm Andrew Lloyd Webber for some reason with a team of people when I'm writing it. And then when I'm rehearsing it, I'm like, what the fuck? I'm doing the slideshow. I'm doing this.
This is an awful lot to deal with.
While actually still being funny and doing the whole, And then I usually add, and I'll do it as a character. So then I've got to get ready. I'm like, for fuck's sake.
And everything has to fit in one damn suitcase.
Yes, exactly right.
I've got this big purple suitcase. Old Big Purple comes out once a year because it's not like I
Mine's
never need a
green.
suitcase that big. Nice. Here comes old Limey. Limey's having a trip. Like even if I went on like I do a lot of holidays in the sun, you understand.
No.
If I did, I wouldn't take a suitcase as big as Big Purple. So it
No.
only comes out once a year.
Yes.
It's like big Purple's on the train, everyone move aside.
Yeah. So I was just interested in finding out, because obviously, and a lot of people that do get produced do go back to doing it themselves, because I think it isn't always, you always think the grass is green or whatever you're doing, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. It's like, I feel I've been doing this 16 years now and I've never let up. Like there hasn't been, it's not like, there was 3 years where I didn't do much because I was doing something else. I've just always been around. This will be my 11th Edinburgh. Industry, they either know who I am or they don't. And if they want to see me, they'll come see me. Like they came to see me. Last time I did Free Fringe was 2022. And industry came to that. They just had to queue up to get in because it was Free Fringe. They couldn't just beg me for a free ticket.
Make them
come see it for free.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, they don't fucking pay after either.
I bet not.
So if they want to see me, they will, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, there's probably like this 3 grand malarkey for PR and stuff.
Yeah.
When you've got like 3K more or whatever followers on Twitter, and you've got a
Twitter, bloody Twitter. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, not, yeah. Have you gone to Blue Sky now?
Yeah.
Did you do that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they all transfer over?
No, it's got a much smaller user base. But I think I've got a bigger chunk of it than I had on Twitter. Like on Twitter, at my peak, I was on about 110K on Twitter. And on Blue Sky, I'm on just over 50,000. But it's a much smaller user base, so I've got a bigger
share
fraction.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's like Twitter methadone, you could say. It's like, I guess it kind of feels like Twitter. It's not the same though. Twitter when it was good and people will go, in 2013. It's like, no. Twitter until about 2023, to be honest, even when it was packed full of Nazis and psychos, and like absolute lunatics, it was still really funny. You could have fun on it, but Elon Musk has definitely wrecked it. I haven't gone away from Twitter for any moral reasons. I was just like, it's shit here now. No one sees my posts. I'm not going to pay for a blue tick.
No.
And when I write anything, there's just Nazis in my replies telling me I'm a Jew. And it's like, oh, wow, big news.
Yeah.
The news is in, am I? Oh, thank you for telling me, mate.
It's as soon as we've sort of travelled into that area anyway, I was going to say, that with all those Twitter things comes the trolls, obviously.
Yeah.
And I know you have had, like we were just saying, or you were just saying, more than your fair share of, frankly, torrid amounts of abuse. And you seem to cope with it really well, and you quite often repost things or whatever. But what do you really? Do you know what I mean? Have you had times where it's, put you in a real hole? And
yeah, there have been. Yeah, it depends what it is. I mean, I didn't expect it. I expected a lot of pushback from trolls when I got the Doctor Who spin-off that was on multiple platforms, mostly audio dramas, in this thing called Doomsday, and I was playing Doom, this time-traveling assassin, and they'd written this character around me, and I thought, this is the coolest thing ever.
It is.
And it was like a video game. It was a comic. So I was drawn in a comic. And I had this big multi-page thing in Doctor Who magazine that I got interviewed for. And then when they announced it in March 2023, I was like, brace for impact. Ha, ha, ha. And it was just really unpleasant. People were horrible for months. They still pop up now. And they're not always... People go, oh, who cares about these incel Nazis? I'm like, well, what you're dismissing is people who have tons of followers. Yeah, they're mean, but no, they are just like people that you might actually quite like, who just fucking hate me. And it's weird to have total strangers on an academic level. I can go, well, they're being very unreasonable. But I'll say something completely unrelated to Doctor Who, because I never write about it deliberately, because I don't want to pull them out of the woodwork. No. And I'll be saying something completely different, and they'll show up one of them show up in my replies like, I'm glad that your Doctor Who thing absolutely flopped. And I'm like, that's really horrible, because it was actually a really nice gig. Yeah. It was such a cool job. I got to work with Paul McGann.
Nice.
Like, what a dream. And he was amazing. And I was like, there was a moment where I went, oh my God, I'm doing the best acting I've ever done, because it's opposite such an amazing actor. And there is an element of like, oh yeah, there's people who want to take that from me. And when it's high enough volume of them, you do start to go, no, it's true. I'm nothing and no one. And I should have just been better looking and more talented. And I was so lucky to have that gig, and I did nothing with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it creeps in.
Yeah.
Can't help it.
It's
I'd love to say like, trolls, who cares about... And then what you get is people who would crumble at one person telling them to shut up, saying, don't let them get to you, Sooz. Like I've allowed it. Like, yeah, sorry, I gave them permission. Like,
yeah, I think that's probably something that people don't think about, and I don't suppose it crossed your mind when you got that job, because like any actor would be like, oh my fucking Christ, I've got the best thing ever.
I thought, like, I didn't think it would be as I didn't think it would get that much fanfare either, but it was launched quite like hardcore, and my face was everywhere, and I didn't like it because there was only so much not reading the comments I could do, i.e. they just show up calling you ugly old cunt.
Seriously. But actually then that leads nicely into your new show. What is it called, Sooz?
Yeah, it's called Sooz Kempner is Ugly.
See, I did not want to say that.
I'm going to clip you out of context. Basically, I've been told I'm variations on ugly my entire life. First time I ever got told by a boy I was ugly, I was 6 years old. So it's happened my whole life. And then
seriously,
yeah, because I got a weird face, and they don't like it. And gradually, as time has gone on, it's kind of mattered less and more. Right. Do you know what I mean? I'm 40 now, and if I feel like, oh yeah, I look good today, I feel good today, I'll go out in the world and feel good. And then you'll get several complete strangers in your replies going, you look like Gollum. I'm like, oh fuck, I look like Gollum. So I wanted to do a show about trolling and aesthetics and aging, and how basically we're currently living in a timeline, I think because of social media, but it is also like beauty trends have gone throughout history. About how there's basically like one acceptable face now. It's a certain shape of face with a tiny nose and fox eyes and very big plump lips that so few women naturally have, because the reason people have bigger lips, if they do, is because their heritage tends to be from hotter climates. That's why the Kardashians that are this is so interesting to me. The Kardashians, because they're half siblings, aren't they? I can't remember who's parent of which. But the ones who are more Armenian are from a hotter climate, so they have naturally bigger lips, and then they plump them a bit, and it just enhances what they have. And then some of them are from, I think, largely Eastern Europe. They're from colder climates, so they have thinner lips, because you have bigger lips because it's more surface area to perspire from. You don't need that in a cold climate. I found all this out for my show.
It's nice.
and I've tried to make it funny. So this idea that, like, no, the only acceptable lips are big plump lips. Women will then pay to have that done it. It's a lot of money, and
And it looks awful.
it doesn't always look good. I mean, it's kind of not up to us to go, like, if they're happy with it, if the people who've had it done are happy with it, then fine. But it also stretches the skin, so you have no choice but to get more.
Keep on having it done. Oh my God. So does this mean, so now my imagination's gone mad, that when, like, if there was a shortage of whatever the fuck that is they put in, that everyone would be like, I can't talk to him for a moment.
Yeah, they'd be fucked. And you end up
flapping.
Like in fillers in general, so fillers people have in their cheeks stretches the skin. And they don't actually, people go, oh yeah, and the body reabsorbs, that's why you've got to have more in. They don't. It doesn't. It like basically crystallizes. So it's densely packed. So then you get more done on top of it. Because otherwise it's your skin sacs.
This is why the once you start, like sometimes you'll think
best business model on
yes. But also for you, like anyone that's ever tempted, I mean, the thought of putting a needle anywhere near my fucking face.
It's quite an undertaking, isn't it?
Yes, no thank you. But also it's that thing where, you know, then in that case, that's why when people that have had a little bit of work and you think, oh, well, they've just had a little bit and it looks all right. But then it snowballs. So you're never, if you start, you're gonna. What a coffin's gonna look like in the future? I mean,
they got more room for cheeks,
massive implants, and like these lips that are just like giving up the ghost. Oh my God,
that's it. And it just makes me sad. I can't really blame the women having it done for this. There's a whole industry that's going like, come on, girls. You just don't look good enough.
No.
Your nose is too big, your lips are too small, your eyes don't go up in the right bits. Like your forehead's too big, get that hairline lowered. And it costs so much money.
It is. And if you think, I mean, it was hard enough for me, and all we had was magazines when I grew up. And adverts, which were nowhere near as many and on every platform like they are now. So, I mean, they don't have a fucking hope in hell, really, of ignoring it like we did.
No, that's it. Yeah.
I will not buy that magazine.
And I don't think like, oh, I win some special prize because I haven't had fillers or Botox done. And I would 100%. I would 100% at 50 get a facelift if I could afford it. That sounds great.
No.
Oh, nice facelift. They last 10 years. And then by the time you're 60, who cares?
But then what about if for 10, so just this little bit there would be good.
Just a little bit there.
Chin, one less chin. That's all I'm asking. But
sculpt one
will it
chin.
end? Where does it end? I have one less chin for 10 years. And then if I can't afford to do any more, or if I have to, what happens? You know, do I just have like this massive like sway that I can use as a scarf or something afterwards? That's just like
it might be nice.
Anyway,
it might be nice.
Who knows?
Who knows where the trend will go? This is the other thing. The trend is going to eventually go towards not having fillers. The trend might go back to having like small rosebuddy lips, and then people are like, "Oh, I've got to get all my fillers dissolved." Oh no, I'm left with loose skin. I've got to have all that trimmed off.
Yes, you know, so it's basically a man's ideal. You basically everyone or one set of men have decided that all men would like you to look like a sex doll. That used to be something that they hid away. It was embarrassment and shame, and now it's like, oh, I'd like my wife and my daughter and my daughter's daughter and everyone to be the same shape as a sex aid. Thanks.
You'll get men who'll go, I don't like it when women wear too much makeup. But what men think is no makeup isn't no makeup.
No.
So no one actually has a clue. no one actually has a clue what people actually look like or what is normal.
Well, Pamela Anderson's doing that thing now, isn't it? I mean, she is genuinely...
Yeah, she's going makeup free.
You know, and
she's great.
It is a massive difference. And like she does it, bless her heart, with people that are like... the world's most overdone makeup.
She's taking a stand in one of the few ways you actually can. There's no push. Like, she's had this career resurgence because people have discovered, oh, right, she can actually act. It's like, yeah, how many beautiful women do you think they could have got for Baywatch? There's plenty that weren't Pamela Anderson. They got her because deliver a line. She's got great sense of humour.
Yeah.
And now
Have you
she's
watched
had a
the
research.
documentary that she made?
Yeah.
I really fell in love with her. I was just
I
like,
did.
oh
She was
my
really fun.
God.
If you get the chance, it might be on YouTube. Ruby Wax's interview with her in the late 90s when she was still on Baywatch she's just a joy. She's so
Yeah.
fun. And
Yeah.
she's really thoughtful, but she's also really funny. She can really laugh at herself. And I guess that's how she's had this longevity.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's back now. So you can't keep her away from red carpets because she's sort of made herself undeniable, what I call undeniable. And so she's taken the only stand she can, which is like, I'm going to go makeup free. What do you think about that? I'm in my late 50s and I'm going makeup free. And there's a lot of people who are like, well, you just put a bit of lippy on or something. Like, why? She doesn't want to, and good for her.
Yeah. It is amazing what can be done. But I mean,
She looks awesome. She then stands out on the red carpet.
yeah, hugely. And her son's
Yes,
always
if I'm
by
ever
her.
on the red carpet, I am.
You will be fully made up. Yep.
Yeah.
Agreed. Totally agree.
I'm not going to. Good for you, Pammy. I'm not going to do it.
But the point is, we love we love the whole up yours to the industry and to
It's cool. It's
current
cool.
trends, because someone like that needs to do it. The other one that does it great as well is Jamie Lee Curtis. She's wonderful.
Oh yeah. And Tilda Swinton as well.
Yes.
Like,
Strong ladies.
That's right.
Going back to your current show, so you're doing Edinburgh, and you haven't done Brighton yet, have you?
No, that's on the 25th of May.
Nice. Where are you doing it?
It's the Carolina Brunswick.
Oh, lovely.
3:15 p.m. at the Carolina Brunswick.
Nice. Cool. And you've got a nice slot in Edinburgh as well. 4:15 is lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh God, I love an afternoon slot.
Yes.
Also, 4:15 is great because I can do nothing till midday and then sort of slowly start to rise. I'm quite lazy.
Oh no, I would never have said that.
I know it is nice though, just like sort of sluggishly get yourself started. Because I did 1 p.m. shows for a while, a couple of years, and it's great because you're often people's first show of the day, so people are in a good mood and they
Not too drunk.
Like they're not hammered, and they're like, I'm going to see this show, then go have my lunch. So people are in a good mood.
Yeah.
But it meant that I'd have to sort of be up and about by 10. That sucks. That's like 6 a.m. at the Fringe.
It is. And you've got 2 podcasts you do. Are you still doing the Queen one and the...
No, Queen Pod, not for a couple of years, but I've done Mystery on the Rocks with Chris Stokes and Masood Milas since we started recording that in 2018.
Oh my God.
And I still get people now, this podcast has been out for over 6 years, and I still get people going, oh, I didn't know you had a podcast. Like, I post about every episode.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Well, for perfect transparency, I've never listened to it either, but...
Why would you? We know each other.
No, but what I do, I mean, I do
people
follow
are like, you do a podcast? I didn't know that.
But what actually is it then, so for everyone, including me?
So we drink cocktails because Masood's a cocktail expert.
Oh, well,
and
that's
we
good.
solve real-life true crime mysteries.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you go, someone researches
usually Chris.
murder or an old whatever.
Yeah, usually Chris, and then they're usually unsolved. But if they are solved, I like that better because I'm like, oh, now we got to the bottom of that. And I do things like I'll do an episode on a one-hit wonder, and we'll find out why they were a one-hit wonder. That sort of thing.
Oh, what musical one-hit wonders?
Yeah, like Chesney Hall.
Like Chesney.
Yeah.
Say, he's like the go-to, isn't he? If you think
That's it. Yeah, the
What's it?
British one-hit wonders.
Amazing. And welcome back, everyone. We just had I should have said, we just disappeared entirely for a whole minute or so because of the Zoom and lack of funding for a professional Zoom. So hello again, everyone. I'm still with Sooz Kempner, who needs to go at 11, so we will be brief. Thank you for your time. Yes, thank you. So let's just switch back to the good old Sooz now. Enough already of everyone else. I mean, I know because I have seen your stuff that you went to the Royal Academy of Music, did you not?
Yeah, that's right. I got in 2009. I went to RAM and they do a 1-year postgrad in musical theatre. So with heavy emphasis on the voice. So I learnt to sing in all the different styles. You just learn a lot about the physiology of the voice, but there's also dance lessons every day, acting lessons every day. And I met there's only 30 of you on the course, and I met like the greatest people.
Yeah. So you're still in
Friends
touch
for
with them
life.
all.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Amazing.
Very sadly, if I just before lockdown, actually, so 5 years ago in January, Lydia Jenkins, who was on the course with us, she died like way too young. She was
Oh
32.
my God.
She got cancer and died. Awful. It was like it was just so horrendous. So and while people were, so that's January 2020, and so while about a month into lockdown, as people were like losing their minds, I'd sort of had this month at home and the weather got nice, and I went, oh, I'm just starting to come out of this like intense like mind fuck
Yeah.
of her dying. And so I felt like quite, oh, I feel much better now. And people were going, I'm losing my fucking mind over lockdown. I'm like, yeah, lockdown.
Yeah.
Lockdown.
Yeah. It's a
So
perspective thing, isn't it?
it was, yeah, so it was a really weird time. And just last weekend, we did like a memorial concert to raise money for music therapy, because she'd just become a music therapist
Oh,
when
nice.
she got diagnosed. And we did this big concert, and it was, I was telling people about, so I'm doing this tomorrow, and people were going, oh, that's really sad, I'm sorry. And I thought, no, it's going to be really nice.
Yeah, it's a
Because,
celebration,
yeah, it's going to be like doing the funeral, but 5 years
but
later, when we've all had
properly
lots
and
of time to
yeah,
process. And it was just so joyous. We all cried,
of
obviously.
course, yeah.
And not just because we're big hams.
Although we all are.
That's it. Yeah, it was. But it was like, it was so nice to share story. We all, a few of us did performances and got to share stories about her, and then we'd sing a song, and it was the nicest day.
Oh,
And
amazing send off.
that's a roundabout way of saying like that's how awesome that year was at
Yeah.
the academy.
Do you think that was a
I got to feel
particularly
that.
awesome year? Then it sounds like it. Or
Yeah,
is
it was. It
that
was the
normal?
best. It was the best year of my life. One day I hope to have a better one.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It was brilliant though. It was just the best. I just was like doubled over laughing for a year.
Oh, amazing. And is that where you were saying that they did everything, the acting, the voice work? and
Yeah,
everything?
it's
Is
a
that where you
full-
started
yeah.
to do your impressions? Because if they gave you the ability to
No, because I'd been this Christina Aguilera tribute act
Before?
In that was before. That was like 2007 when I was 22, and I was already doing impressions out there of like I already did like Kate Bush, Shirley Bassey. I've been doing Shirley Bassey when I was a teenager.
I was just going to say, when did you start? When did you realize that you could do those then? And when did you start showcasing them? I imagine to your poor mum, she got the benefit of those early.
Like anyone who can do voices, you sort of realize when you're a kid. So yeah, I'd always done it a bit. When I was out in Ayia Napa, so yeah, it's 2007. All the people I worked with called me LV. They used to say, "Oh, it's
little
just little
voice."
And they're there, and out there, it was really weird for like the whole for an entire summer. I just was with this group of people calling me LV, and then no one's called me that since. So,
But I can see why. It's completely similar, isn't it? Yeah.
it was fun. We'd all go and do our gigs, and then we'd all meet up and do a karaoke, and they'd be like, "Sooz, do Kate Bush. Sooz, do Liza." So that's how I learned I could do that. It's not really been useful until I did stand up.
No. And so what made you, because I can remember you won, wasn't it, the Funny Women Musical Award, was it?
Oh,
What did they call it then?
I won Best Newcomer at Musical Comedy Awards. That was 2010 because I was the newest. And it was 2012, I won the Variety Award at Funny Women Awards. But yeah, I wasn't doing impressions. I used to do songs at the keyboard, and they were like fucking terrible. They were really bad. And I haven't had the keyboard in my act since 2016. And yet I will still sometimes show up at gigs and people will go, "Where's your keyboard?" Like, it's been 9 years.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit anymore. My comedy songs were bad. I was only doing comedy songs because I could sing. So I was like, well, I better write comedy songs. But I was bad at it. So I found different ways of incorporating singing into the act now.
Yeah.
It's like comedy about singing is how I describe it, but it's not a very good description until people see it. They go, "What do you mean?"
What is that you speak
Yeah,
of?
what? What do you even mean? I'm like, "Oh, you'll see," which isn't a good explanation.
Who's your favourite singing impersonation to do?
it's annoying because it's Bernadette Peters and no one knows who she is
Oh,
outside
was
of like.
I think I do. Did she have long curly hair?
Yeah, that's her.
Yes.
Yeah, she's in The Jerk with
Yes.
Steve Martin. Yeah.
Yes. Was she not on SNL as well years ago? I think she was
I
one of,
don't think she
or
was
did she just guest
I
on
don't
it?
think she was yeah, she might have guested on it.
Yeah.
She's a Broadway star, but she's got this voice which sounds like that. And when she sings, she's like, not a day goes by. And she's always like shimmying. It's really funny.
Yeah, I love it.
I can only do that. I usually like, if I'm in a room and I'm like, this room looks pretty camp, I'll go, does anyone know who Bernadette Peters is? And if like 3 people put their hands up, I'll go,
Right.
do you want to see me with Bernadette Peters? And I'm like, washing machines of longer with Calgon. And then 3 people go, oh yeah.
How to make
Can't really
three
do
people
that.
in a
Like,
room happy.
that's it. Yeah. When I do like Saturday night in Reading, I can't go, who knows who Bernadette Peters is?
It's like
People are
silence.
no. They know Kate Bush is, and that's good enough
Yes.
for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I've got cold. I sort of said something similar to this on, I think it was on Twitter, and someone said, you're a fucking snob. I'm like, it's not snobbish to go like, some people don't know who Bernadette Peters is. I'm saying some people aren't musical theatre nerds.
Yeah, no, and
It's
I
not
wouldn't consider
snobbery.
myself a nerd, but I'm quite a comedy nerd, and I know that
Yeah.
I think she's done stuff with Gene Wilder even as well. I've got
I
a vague
think
recollection.
She's like always working with comedians.
Yeah.
If you go back to the 80s and go like, what was Bernadette Peters up to? Because she's so funny. So, and she's got a great voice.
But what was I going to say something then about that. Oh, that was it. It was when we mentioned SNL. So did you get your stuff forward for SNL? Because here in the UK, apparently we've never had this sort of thing before, which we have. But
we have. Yeah, they basically did. I mean, it's in some ways it's great that they did a completely open submission for writing and casting for SNL. So there was separate writing submission and casting submission. So yeah, I did submit, but like every single comedian in the UK was, and everyone who's ever been anywhere near comedy has done the same.
Same thing.
I have absolutely no delusions that they'll even watch the entirety of my tape. But I think like, I hope it's good.
Yeah, I do.
I hope the end product is good.
I do, and I hope
it's a
some of the
great
people we know
opportunity.
that are genuinely under the radar still for no reason, like yourself, like Adam Larter, and a load of people that we know that have got the comedy chops and been doing it, frankly, for donkey's years without any help at all. That someone as big as SNL get behind them. But I do find it hilarious that it's been completely billed like the UK has never had this format.
Yeah, like we 100%. I think when I was a kid, they tried to do a British SNL, but it wasn't. They didn't call it that, but it was the same format, and they have tried to do this before. There's absolutely no reason why it couldn't work. They've just got to have some bite to it.
They've got to put money behind it. I think the version that we did was on a Friday night, so it was called something like Friday Live, and it had
like that.
Low budget, and it had people that were all well known stalwarts of comedy anyway. And I think the genius of SNL is that you get the rising stars and the the constant changeover as well of guests and things.
There's some really nice. I mean, like I've read some horror stories about what it's like to work on there. There's a guy called Jay Moore. I read his book. You'd know his face if you saw it. I don't think he's like the nicest guy, but he got SNL, and he ended up going to a doctor because he thought he was dying, because he was like, look, I've had diarrhea for 6 months. My heart constantly feels like it's going to explode. I'm always running with sweat and I can barely eat. And he said, there's definitely something very wrong with me. And the doctor was like, you have terrible anxiety. And he'd never had this before. And he said it was working on the show. The pressure was so intense. And he couldn't massively handle it. And he wrote about this very frankly in his book. So an amazing opportunity. But yeah, I guess it's not for everyone.
Does it say on the submission when you'll find out, when they're getting back to people, or no?
Nah,
No.
I just assume I won't ever hear anything. like with every audition.
Yes, isn't it lovely? It's a lovely world we
Yeah.
live in, but it genuinely is. Otherwise, we still wouldn't all be here.
Yeah,
But
yeah. Oh, yeah. It's
there's
the hope
goodness
that
and there's
kills
bad
you.
ones.
Yeah.
So on the diarrhea note, Suze, and I'm just looking at the
Yeah.
time. You need to hop
Yeah,
off.
gotta go. I don't have diarrhea. I have
She's just
a
pretending.
meeting at 11:30.
Yeah,
but
sure. Yeah,
I don't have I've scheduled some diarrhea after this.
I will be shitting myself from 11 o'clock until 11:15.
And I like to do it alone. Call me old fashioned.
I won't do it on a podcast, not even if you were paying me, which you're not, Joe. So, fuck off. Well, thank you, Suze, for coming
Thank
on.
you.
Genuinely lovely to catch up, and I really hope you get that SNL thing. And
That's very kind of you. I won't. But
well, I
thank
can't
you.
think of anyone else that should be on it. As soon as you just so should be there.
Oh, this industry's never been about who should.
No, that is very true. She's so real, people.
Yeah, I'm so real, man. We all just keep on, don't we? And then
keep on
occasionally
keeping
we go
on.
Like, oh my God, things have been amazing for a few
Yeah.
weeks. This is great. And then you wouldn't do anything else, would you?
No, and that's the thing is, like, everyone says, "Oh, why are you still doing stuff?" We all get this at the same time, I'm sure, from family, usually, actually.
Yeah. What you need is your big break. Like,
Have you thought about a new agent?
Yeah. What about getting on EastEnders?
Yeah, if I had £1.
And it's usually like from my mum's friends. It would be from my mum's friends, and I'll be like, listen, love,
Yeah.
if I wanted advice on how to fit a saddle, I'd come to you. I don't
And
think
I'd
you'd
suck some
come
eggs
to me.
while I was on it. So
Love.
just so that everybody knows where you are. So you're at Brighton
Yeah.
on the 25th of
Right
May.
on the
Did you-
25th of May, if you're in Edinburgh Fringe, I'm doing 4:15 every day. I'm not even having a day off.
Oh, wow, Miles.
You can come and see that.
Where is it at Edinburgh?
The Laughing Horse Counting House.
Oh, nice.
Lovely location, great
Yes.
room. And if you, can I recommend my boyfriend's show?
Yes, and I was so glad. I'm glad, sad that we didn't get to talk about your
He's
long distance
lovely
lover.
Michael. My
Yes.
stupid. Well, his show's called International Lover, and it's about I'm going out with a man who lives in Toronto.
Yes.
He is real. I know it sounds like I made him up, but he's real, and I can prove it. You can go to his show.
I've seen pictures. I know it.
You see, yeah, he exists. He looks like young Tim Curry or young
does.
Elliot Gould.
Oh my God, he
if they were nervous men. Little nervous young Tim Curry, imagine that.
And also, not only if they were nervous, but if they looked at Suze like she was a big old puppy dog that just needed to be taken home.
That's him. Oh, that's him. But he's doing a show. He's a comedian too, you see, and he didn't become one after meeting me. He's been a comedian for about 20 years. His show is called International Lover, which is very funny if you've met him. And it's at the Voodoo Rooms.
Oh, I love the Voodoo Rooms.
Me too. And
Nice.
I'm so chuffed he got it. Because
Yeah.
last year was his debut, and he was in a room that he paid £3,500 for because he couldn't get a free Fringe venue, and the ceiling leaked. And it was quite a depressing room.
Oh, he'll love
at
the
one
Voodoo
point,
Rooms.
I know he couldn't believe it and he was like, "So it's free Fringe." So this is an accurate impression. So it's free Fringe. But I don't pay anything yet. And I said, no, you pay at the end. And he said, and why do I pay? Because they kind of said what it was, but I don't really understand it. And I said, well, it says, doesn't it? Like the suggested donation is about £60. And he went, right, so £60 per show, and he's working out. I went, no, Michael. No. They suggest like £2 or £3 per show. And I just saw his brain going.
Yeah. Shut down, doesn't compute.
It made like the noise that a modem used to make when you change dial-up. And he couldn't believe it. I said, no, that's the difference between free Fringe and paid Fringe. He went, well, why would anyone do paid? I went, why did you do paid? Because you couldn't get a free Fringe venue. Everyone wants a good free Fringe venue. So I'm really chuffed for him that he's got Voodoo Rooms, and I think a lunchtime slot is the best.
Nice. So you two,
And
if
he's
you finish,
funny.
you can have a lie-in. You can both do your
Have a lie-in.
shows. Lie-in,
Done by
both do your shows.
5:30.
Go and see other shows. Have a lovely evening
Exactly.
for a
Go
whole
see all
month.
Go and see all the names. We can go out for dinner with our free fringe bucket.
Yeah. Well, not, by that she means that with the money in it, not that she takes the bucket to have a dinner.
Oh, yeah. Don't take the bucket and go, fill her up with coleslaw.
Give me a so much.
Thank you.
And
cheers,
yes,
Jo.
It was an absolute joy, and I hope to catch you again.
Let's see each other in real life.
Yeah, why not? Let's do that. Thank you very much, and I'll add the links to everything, to Sue's things, to the blurb here.
Thanks,
and
Jo.
if you send me a nice picture of yourself, I'll add that.
Will do.
Each show is the picture of the person that's had a chat. So there you go.
How nice. Oh, well, I'll send you a good one then.
Yeah. Right. Thanks so much.
Cheers, Jo.
Bye. Bye. Enjoy your poo. Thanks for listening to Real Folk with me, Jo Burke.